pretty sure Utah Valley was winning at halftime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, they're going to come to play, and they had a decent amount of fans that came to follow them too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I gotta say this for the audio cut out because I had to do something on my computer. So if this is like a little delayed on the audio, our bad. We're still on Instagram Live, so we'll just get the rest of that off. Get the beginning half of it pretty much. I don't know how much time we had, but in just to recap what we were talking about Evansville Purple Aces, what Kentucky's got to do to pretty much seal the deal against these other teams. So we play Utah Valley Monday night, and like we were just talking about, we can't not take them serious. You know, I think that's the thing is we didn't expect Evansville to beat us, and by us I mean Kentucky Wildcats. So they just got to take every game with a grain of salt from now on. If they want to be the 1 seed again, they pretty much have to win out. It seems like. So
they're going to have to, you know, if they want to be a 1 seed, they're going to have to win some of these SEC road games that I had them losing.
Definitely.
They cannot lose another game until the SEC play starts, though.
Definitely. The Louisville game's going to be really fun just because of what all they've said this past week after Kentucky lost. Because Louisville played Indiana State. It's like, oh, well, we're one team in Kentucky that can beat Indiana teams. I'm like, listen. I'm not the one to brag about the championships because we've only won one championship since me and you have been alive, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, actually, two.
You won two.
I was born in '98.
You were born in '98. I was
2000. 2 for me.
So only tack on one for me, but still, even like half the kids that were like that were on the team, they're almost as like old as our championship. It's only 7 years old, but still, hypothetically, you know. But you know, I don't like to brag about championships because, like I said, 3/4 of them happened before we were born. We have 8 national championships. We have the most wins in NCAA history. We have almost 40 former players in the NBA currently right now.
Yeah, and most of them are doing well too.
Exactly, you know. And what's Louisville doing? You know, what are they doing?
Donovan Mitchell.
They got Donovan Mitchell. They have Montrezl Harrell. And Rick Pitino won a championship in Greece. Like, they don't have the accolades that Kentucky has when it comes to basketball.
Also, Louisville fans are not good at talking trash.
They really aren't. No.
Like, I mean,
even in football too.
Louisville football fans are some of the most apathetic fans I've ever been in
Lamar Jackson is their Lord and Savior.
and even he couldn't, you know, get them to 10 wins.
Yeah, and even Kentucky beat them then with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll save that for another time because I don't know. Louisville irks me. Like we killed them 2 years. We've killed them 2 games last year. Even in soccer, we beat them. You know, but we beat them in volleyball this year. We're just superior in general. It's like,
yeah.
So if you're a Louisville fan listening or watching, just L's down. That's all I gotta say. You know,
there's 120 counties in this state, and 119 of them don't like Louisville.
That's right. So,
and even Jefferson County, you know, there's a point where
even they voted blue this election, so even that county is just just blue.
Even like Jefferson County, you know, there's a surprising amount of Kentucky fans that are there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of alumni, and you know, I mean that's where Matt Jones lives.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's kind of like where you have, it's kind of like urban versus rural.
Yeah.
You know, it's us versus them. Like I said, 120 counties in the state, and 119 of them don't like Louisville.
That's right. So, Kentucky basketball, they play Utah Valley Monday nights. So just stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a really good game. Hopefully Kentucky can bounce back and be 3-1 this time.
What I will say is, you know, at the beginning of the season, Tennessee football lost to BYU and what was the other one? Georgia State. And ever since they've lost those games, they've been playing a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately, but at the same time, you know, you got to hope that Kentucky can sort of do the same thing in basketball because these are the kind of losses that you need to wake you up for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
definitely.
I agreed with what a lot of people were saying after the game is that it was. Oh Lord, that was loud. But I agreed with what people were saying when it was the worst loss of the Coach Cal era, because I think it was.
It was the worst home loss in the history of Kentucky basketball. I will say that. We've had some horrible losses, like horrible losses in general. Like you could say, like the loss to Robert Morris in the NIT tournament was pretty bad. That wasn't at home though. That was just like it was a neutral site.
Yeah.
This was this was seriously the worst home loss in Kentucky basketball history. And you could say Baylor had it with like when they broke the I think 90 home game win streak or whatever.
It was the first team to ever beat a Cal team.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but yeah, it was a travesty. It was horrible. So, and I sat front row for it. So, not a good Tuesday. Not a good Tuesday whatsoever.
I heard that there was hardly anybody at that game.
It was rough. It was so you know where the E zone is?
Yep.
So it wasn't even half full in the E zone, let alone that. The reserve section was like half full, and the nosebleeds behind the E zone were just empty. It was insane. Everybody expected Kentucky to beat them, But
I don't blame them. I did.
Yeah. So they'll bounce back stronger than ever. They'll use this game as motivation, and I think we'll still get a 1 seed, if not a 2 or 3 seed. So, and what you said about Tennessee football, we'll transition to that too. Mm-hmm. So. Another huge loss was, we mentioned this earlier, Tennessee. They beat Kentucky 17-13 this past Saturday. And Wyatt, I'm going to let you take over for the Oxley report on Tennessee.
So, in 2017, Kentucky beat Tennessee 29-26. Mm-hmm. After Tennessee dominated time of possession, they won the turnover battle. They had 500 yards of offense or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And, Kentucky somehow pulled out the win, 29-26.
Yeah.
It was almost, the script was flipped this time. Total yards, Kentucky had 327, Tennessee had 296. Turnover battle was even at 1-1. Mm-hmm. Kentucky had 21 first downs, Tennessee had 13. Time of possession, Kentucky had the ball for 41 minutes and 37 seconds.
My God.
Tennessee had the ball for 18 minutes and 23 seconds.
That's insane.
Rushing, Kentucky had 302 rushing yards compared to 82 for Tennessee.
Is this for this past Saturday?
Yes. Yes. But you also need to consider, you're probably looking at about 35 to 40 of those rushing yards came from Garantano and the other quarterback Maurer that they had.
Yeah, exactly.
So their running backs were only getting 40
Their
yards.
running backs were very limited in this game.
Oh, yeah, Ty Chandler, he's terrible.
Yeah.
But I think, passing, Tennessee had 213, Kentucky had 25. Wasn't really expecting a whole lot in the passing game. Mm-hmm. Third down efficiency, we were 7 for 15. They were 5 for 11. Fourth down efficiency, we were 2 for 5. What I will say to people that, a lot of people were critical of some of, should we have put Sawyer in there? Mm-hmm. I would say no to that. Well, I could see yes and no because we did need to get the passing game going, but it's not like the offense wasn't working because 7 of our 9 drives in this game. We got across the 50-yard line.
Yeah, exactly.
And we only scored twice.
That's what I was thinking because when I saw those things, I do agree we needed to get the passing game going because their secondary was like it was just hurting Lynn Bowden in his passer rating, and the only thing he could do was run or give it to AJ Rose or Cavassier or Rodriguez. Rodriguez had the game of his life. He was player of the game on the offense. In my opinion. But. Yeah, like I said, at least get Sawyer in there for the pass. We got him in there for the QB sneak for the 4th and 1. And, I thought we were going to see a lot more of him after that. And maybe put Lynn at wide receiver, give him a little rest at quarterback so he can get back in there and do his thing like he did against Missouri. But, I don't know. The time of possession kind of is crazy because I think about it. You don't really think about time of possession during the game. You just think, it's they're getting down the field, hurry, And the fact that they scored, 17 of those points, I don't know if it was one of those was a crazy weird touchdown that he caught, His foot was inside. Like, he barely got his foot inside.
Yeah, it was, what was the kid's name? Yeah, it was
The one
Josh
that-
Palmer.
Yeah, they ruled him out of bounds at first, and they challenged it. And there was a lot of horrible calls on Kentucky's side, like that targeting.
Yeah.
There was a targeting call, and literally, it was the equivalent of Myles Garrett hitting Mason Rudolph in the head with a helmet. Like, that much contact, and they didn't call it. Well, they called it, and then they...
Well, they called it, then they
overruled it. Yeah.
You know, it's... I think that a lot of teams kind of, you know, portray their coach. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like, the team, you know, takes after the coach. And...
Pruitt.
Yeah, Jeremy Pruitt, you know, for lack of a better term, I think he's an ass.
Oh, I mean...
He's a jerk. Like, if you guys go and watch his, like press conferences, you can just tell that, number one, he's not very smart. And number two, he's just an ass. And
some might call him a dumbass.
No, he's just he's a douche. But
yeah.
Like, and the team was starting to play like that too.
Yeah.
Tennessee was dirty. Let's see how many personal fouls they had. They had to have had like at least 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Penalties 6 for 56. I think they had 5 personal fouls in that game.
A lot of those came in the second half too.
And then what was it? No, I mean, it's always been one of those things where, you know, you look back at the Philip Fulmer days, or even when Butch Jones was at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee didn't have these, you know, these dirty players that they have now.
Exactly.
And like I said, it stems from the coach. Like, I think Jeremy Pruitt is an ass. And
well, you could tell because at halftime, like before they went into the locker room, there was a huge like brawl and stuff, and it was mainly on Kentucky. Which, granted, I will give it. You know,
well, Marquez Callaway was running his mouth and pushing him around.
Exactly. You know, so I mean, in my opinion, Kentucky won that too. So at least we won something that night. But yeah, that was horrible loss. It was one that we needed because before that we sat at 4-4. We needed to win the next 2 out of 4 games to be bowl eligible. So it's one less game we have left in order to be bowl eligible. So, I predicted we went 8-4. We have to go 7-5 now to at least be, have a decent record.
Yeah.
Which I'll be happy with 7-5. Because this season we've had a lot of hardships, and if we can just get a nice bowl game like on New Year's Eve or something, I'll take it. Let's have another. Let's finally win a Music City Bowl.
This is not how this season was supposed to go.
It really wasn't.
I think that people sort of understand that.
Yeah.
Because some like, what are the chances of having 3 quarterbacks get injured in the span of 3 months?
Yeah, exactly.
And then also, having another quarterback who's not ready in Amani Gilmore and Walker Wood, who's had 2 shoulder surgeries since he's been here.
And a pure freshman at that point, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get that, I get why they would put Bowden in there because he has the energy that the team needs to win.
Yeah, and it shakes things up on the offense too.
Yeah, and the offense does play harder when he's in there.
I think so as well.
But it's just really unfortunate that it has gone this way. It just seems to me like all the bounces that we got last year, we just don't get this year.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
Like, I think if some of these games were played last year, Kentucky's probably sitting at 1 loss.
I feel like, there's a lot of what ifs this season. Like it's filled with what if Terry didn't get hurt? Well, we beat Florida. Well, what if Terry didn't get hurt? We score against Georgia in the first half. There's a lot of what ifs. It's like, I don't know, Sawyer Smith. What if, he didn't throw those picks in the Florida, or what if he played more against Tennessee? And like I said, we could have beaten Mississippi State had he not. What if he didn't throw the interception late or whatever? Not Tennessee, Mississippi State. Excuse me. Tennessee too, because we threw an interception in that one.
That was, that play. If Bowden just didn't throw it far enough.
Yeah, exactly.
If he had thrown it, just a little bit further, Justin Rigg is walking into the end zone.
Exactly.
Instead, he threw it short. Nigel Warrior intercepts it, runs it back.
Yeah.
Which
Thankfully, that called back.
I will say,
called back.
Tennessee is going to have some guys in the draft next year.
Yeah,
next year. Like, they're going to have Marquez Callaway.
Yep.
They're going to have, let's say the receiver's name, Juwan Jennings, right? And then they're going to have, I think Batuli will probably get drafted too, the middle linebacker, and then they'll have Nigel Warrior probably get drafted too. So I'm not going to take anything away from Tennessee's defense. Tennessee's defense is good.
Oh yeah, I mean they showed it too,
and they have good receivers.
Yeah,
The problem is
they didn't allow a point in the 75% of the game.
Well, really what killed us and what was really uncharacteristic about our defense this week was you look at, our pass defense where we'd shut down some of the best receivers in the country this year. Like, I can't think of the kid's name, but there's a couple good ones that Missouri had.
We shut down Kelly Bryant in general.
Kelly Bryant, and then you go back to the Florida game. You have, Florida's receivers are good. Freddie Swain, Van Jefferson, Tyree Cleveland. We shut them down for 3 quarters. I think.
Shout out to my brother watching, by the way. We're doing sign language on the live stream now.
But then, but no, like I said, like Marquez Callaway.
Yeah,
like he's
dude's a stud.
Oh yeah, he mossed Jamari Brown a couple times.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone around us in that game was like, well, why is Jamari Brown on him?
Yeah, exactly.
Jamari Brown's our most physical corner.
Yeah,
Marquez Callaway is just good.
Yeah, we needed like thunder versus lightning at that point.
We needed like Jalen Ramsey.
That's the only one that could stop him at that point. It seemed
Marquez Callaway is just so good at the 50-50 ball.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was the one that caught the Hail Mary on us.
He was.
I'm pretty sure that's who that was.
He was.
But the 50-50 ball, that's another thing I'm saying. Like, last year, we either get an interception or we knock that play down. This year, we don't get the bounce, and of course they catch it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's
what you get with a young secondary, too, who has not been all that bad this season. I've said this on almost every podcast that we talk about Kentucky football. Our secondary has, exceeded expectations for this summer.
And they're going to be even better next season.
Oh, my gosh.
Kelvin Joseph, boss man fat.
I would say Kelvin Joseph. I'm so excited to watch him.
By the way, I got a story about him after this podcast.
All right,
I can't say it on live though.
Yeah, we'll save that for another time. But yeah, the secondary. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do against them. I think they held them down. They only held them 17 points.
Yeah,
and it was a close game throughout the whole entire game, pretty much. So
we basically followed the game plan that we wanted.
Yeah,
which was basically shut down Tennessee's running game, right? Because Jarrett Garantano was their leading rusher in the game.
That is awful.
Yeah, he had 6 carries for 30 yards.
That is horrendous.
Ty Chandler and I can't think of the other kid's name, but the two of them,
Alvin Kamara came out of this school.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Tennessee hasn't had a stud running back since Alvin Kamara is kind of a flex player in my opinion.
Alvin Kamara wasn't all that good at Tennessee. He was good, but he wasn't like he is now. Like, he had a breakout year.
Well, he was he was a running back / wide receiver. The last pure running back that I can remember that was really good was Arian Foster.
Yeah.
Arian Foster was dirty at Tennessee.
He was dirty. He was dirty in general as a player.
But
not like a bad player, but
oh, he was good.
He mean mugged everybody.
He was mean mugged everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to we play Vanderbilt. We have another Tennessee team.
By the way, we said Kelvin Joseph, he raps, calls himself Boss Man Fat.
Boss Man Fat.
Goes hard.
It's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. It gets you very, very, very pumped up.
He's not bad either.
If you want to take a break from Whitney Houston, he's a good second option. But, rest in peace to the Queen. Right?
Can't believe I just heard that.
Anyway, let's go on to the Vanderbilt game. Yep. They're 1-5 of the conference. We're 2-5. They're looking to be 2-5. We're looking to be 3-5. So we're 4-5. They're 2-7. And we all know the rest. We want to try to get a bowl game. We want to win 6 games.
Yep.
Vandy's season's over at this point. They can't win. They can't go to a bowl game. So they're pretty much just playing for themselves at this point. So, I don't think they'll have as much motivation going into this game. However, knowing the head coach down there, he's going to give 120%. It seems like every game. So that's something Kentucky has to look out for in this game, in my opinion. But let's look at the spread for this game. So ESPN Football's Power Index has Kentucky at 78.2%, whereas they have Vandy at 21.8% winning this game. So Kentucky.
Do we have somebody else join?
Yeah, Baja Blasphemy joined. I like it.
Hey, zero disrespect to the Baja Blast. It's good stuff. Not good for you, but it's good.
It's great stuff. Great stuff. So I'm pretty sure his name's Will. I think I don't know who it is. I can't think off the top of my head. I have some nice Instagram followers, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. But anyway, we had the spread is 10 points. Kentucky predicted to win by 10 points.
Yep.
Money line's 310 for Kentucky, or negative 380 for Kentucky, plus 30-10 for. We don't do money line though. Over under is 42. What are you taking on that? 42.
Well, Kentucky's favored by 10. I'm going to take the over.
Taking the over?
I'm taking the over because you look at the average stats here. Vanderbilt's allowing 35 points a game on average. Now, I'm going to take a look at their schedule. But yeah, they've gotten blown out in a lot of their games this season. Like, their first game against Georgia, they gave up 30. They gave up 42 to Purdue, 66 to LSU, 31 to Ole Miss, 34 to UNLV, 24 to South Carolina, and 56 to Florida. Now, I get that a lot of those teams are good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not putting up hardly anything. They haven't put up more than 20 points since they played LSU. And they crazy. They put up 38 in that game. That was in week 3.
Yeah. That's and I'm looking at this right now too. Like
their last 3 games, they've scored 21 points.
That's true. We scored 20 though. That's the only bad thing. Is like
in our last 3 games.
Yeah, but we've played against pretty good teams. We played against Georgia. We held our own against them. Mm-hmm. Missouri, we killed Kelly Bryant. And Tennessee, I mean, it's a pretty equal matchup right there. So, and we beat Arkansas. We lost to South Carolina. So. Let's look at the yards allowed. They've allowed 465, whereas we've allowed 348. And passing yards. Now, this is a game where I would want to see Sawyer Smith because they gave up nearly 269 passing yards a game. But they've also given up 200 rushing yards a game, too. So, that's not per game. I think that's just average. But, pretty much per game. But, But, I don't know. That makes me iffy if I'm Coach Stoops at that point. Like, should you put in Sawyer? Should you put in Lynn?
I think last time at least from what I've read, that let me get somebody else join.
Oh, yep. We got my little sister. My whole family's watching. It seems like. I love.
But
she's going to the Ariana Grande concert Sunday, so I hope you have fun there.
Can't say I'm a fan of hers, but have a good time.
Just can't breathe. I hear that song all the time. Like in the mess hall, and I hear it like on TV, like on the they'll have it for like preview shows, like The Masked Singer or something. Like I hear it all the time, and so she's probably gonna blast it from Rupp Arena like she usually does. So hope you have fun there, Brian.
But were we talking about Vanderbilt's defense?
Yes, we were. Sorry, I got caught up with Ariana Grande.
Vanderbilt's defense. I think they graduated a couple of guys last year that were good for them. Like they went 6-6 last year.
Yeah,
made it to a bowl game. They didn't win, but they still made it.
Who did they play in that bowl game?
It was Baylor.
Baylor.
It was a shootout. It was like 52 to 40.
I figured it would be. Yeah.
But Vanderbilt's defense this year, it's not been good.
No, it has not.
It's been a long fall. It's been a long autumn season for Vanderbilt. We sit here and complain that it's been long for us. It's not.
The only thing they're waiting for baseball season. That's all they're waiting for.
Yeah, they are. I mean, but it's kind of. Yeah, so we dropped a comment there.
We got some comments. Braden joined. He said, Joe Mama. And Mariah, she always does that thing. You know how Tyler Hero and Ashton Hagens last year, they always do like this or whatever. It's like slat or something.
I didn't know what that was. If anything, it seemed like they're snorting a line or
something. It's like either that or that, there's no stripper's ass in this point. But, like they have the snotty nose, like slat or something. I don't know what it was, but.
The 5 fingers say to the face, slap.
Charlie Murphy.
But,
anyway,
back to what we were saying.
Defense.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's defense, it's not gone well this season. Florida had 2 turnovers in the first half and still were able to put up 56 points.
Yeah.
Really, they should have had like 70 because both of those turnovers were interceptions in the red zone. But no, I mean, it's not going well for them. However, on the offensive side of the ball, Vanderbilt has 3 guys that are probably going to,
Go pro.
That are going to go pro. Right?
Browns are looking for a new defensive end if they need one. So, I mean, he's going to be suspended the rest of the season. Probably next season, too. Like, he might go to jail, Myles Garrett. So, Browns, be on the lookout for some Vandy guys.
I was talking about on the offensive side. I don't know very many of the defensive side. I think I got one linebacker that's pretty good. But,
yeah.
On offense,
Browns can use all the help they can get regardless at this point.
Well, they beat the Steelers last night. They
That's
don't
true.
do that very often.
That's true. That is true.
But Vanderbilt is missing their quarterback, Kyle Shermer.
Yeah.
I think he was a 4-year starter. Or
Is that
like a
Pat
3.5.
Shermer's kid?
I think they're related.
I think so,
I don't know
too.
if it's their kid, but I know they're related.
Yeah. The Shermer's a football family, so.
Oh, yeah. But I read a tweet the other day that Adam Luckett put out. It was like Vanderbilt's offense with and without him.
Yeah. Let me fix these blinds.
But I saw the light.
Yeah.
But
no more darkness, no more Friday. I saw the light.
But Keyshawn Vaughn, who is their star running back,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be playing on Sundays. He's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
His production's gone down significantly since Shermer's been out. Kalijah Lipscomb is a great receiver.
Elijah Lipscomb.
Yeah.
I like that name.
And then Jared Pinkney, their tight end. Same thing with the other 3 of them. Those guys were good last year.
Yeah.
They were putting up good numbers, but they don't really have the greatest quarterback situation. Theirs similar to ours, where they're just like injuries just everywhere.
Yeah.
Riley Neal's their starter. He has 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's their leader. I don't know if he's going to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I don't know. The way let's go ahead and let's do offensive defense player of the game for this one. So let's start with offense. I'm going to think about this for a little bit. I'm going to have you go first with this one, and I'll start off with the defense. So you start off with offensive player of the game, and then we'll go to me, and then I'll go defensive, and then we'll go to you.
Offense.
See, this is rough to think about, too, because it's like, I mean, obviously you want to say Lynn Bowden because the dude carries the offense pretty much. But if we're going to get the passing game going, I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Ali or Ahmad Wagner winning it, too,
Ahmad Wagner and I think Bryce Oliver. I could have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact that Ahmad Wagner wasn't playing in the game very much the other day because he was hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking where he was on that final drive, but he was hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until
I didn't know either.
I didn't know that until like a day or 2 after the game. But,
That's why Josh Ali was getting a lot more minutes, I think.
Yeah. Well, I do hope that they can that they are better, so we can kind of get them going because Vanderbilt, we could have lost them if we wanted to.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to say the player of the game is going to be our offensive line.
Yeah.
They have played well over the last couple of weeks, and we need to get a passing game going, and they need to block well, which I think they have.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think even when we do drop back to pass, he got sacked once.
Yeah.
Back there, and that was only because Tennessee sent the house on a blitz. But going forward for the rest of the season, I could see a scenario where you might consider putting in Sawyer because Tennessee in that game was loading the box. They were bringing safeties and corners on the blitz every time because they knew that we weren't going to pass it.
Definitely.
Which is frustrating.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them because I do the same thing.
It's true. I'm gonna go ahead and give mine because I've thought about this a little bit. I'm gonna compare it to the Missouri game last year. We still had that quarterback controversy with Terry Wilson and Gunnar Hoke. Terry wasn't performing the best, in the past game, He threw an interception. He got a couple turnovers actually, and they put Gunnar Hoke in for a couple drives, and it didn't go so well. They put Terry back in. We win the game. I think that's gonna be the case this game too. I think they're gonna put Lynn Bowden in at quarterback. I feel like there's a fumble recovery or an interception or something like that. They're gonna give Sawyer a few drives. He'll do decent. He'll get a turnover. Lynn Bowden will come in and just torch him. I think it's gonna be something like that. So I'm gonna go to the quarterback game. I don't know who the quarterback's gonna be. Most likely it's gonna be Lynn Bowden. I think we'll just stick with Lynn Bowden just to be safe. But I wouldn't be surprised if they put Sawyer in as well. So I'm gonna go either quarterback as player of the game because. Just looking at their passing yards allowed, 268 passing yards a game and 196. That's like right up Lynn Bowden's alley right there. Because dude can do either of them. So I'm going to go the quarterbacks. Regardless of whichever one is in, I'll go with them.
I think that
these blinds don't want to help you tonight. Why?
No, they don't. I look like a zebra right now. But I think that one critique that I would have of the offense was you look at Bowden when he's at his best. It's honestly when they pass the ball.
Yeah.
And when he drops back to pass, he's running around. That's when he's the most dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Because defense is dropping back in coverage because he can throw it.
Oh yeah.
But then he just kind of improvises. Like I think we had a 3rd and 14 in the game against Tennessee the other day where he ran around and he got the first down.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And that's one critique that I would have of Eddie Grant and the play calling is why didn't we do that more often?
Yeah, I think you and I are the only ones I know that like Eddie Grant, which is surprising, because we were 10-3 last year with Eddie Grant's offense and with the superb defense that we have last year. This year we've gone down a little bit, but we've also lost a lot of key items this year to injury. And sitting at 4-5, it's not the way we wanted the season to go. However, we're still producing on offense with a wide receiver at quarterback. And a lot of people forget that we have a wide receiver at quarterback. So I think Eddie Grant, he's going to mix it up a little bit this game. I think.
Why not? Why not?
We get UT Martin next week.
Mm-hmm.
After the Evansville game, we can't take any opponent. This is football still, but I think we beat them. So try to do something flashy. Try to get on ESPN, but most importantly, just have an effective offense and win the game. That's the main thing. So,
I would say, to your point, Eddie Gran. For the people that don't like Eddie Gran and think that we should fire him. I heard Matt Jones say one time, because a guy called into KSR one day and said, I think we should get rid of Eddie Grant. Mm-hmm. You got to consider, we would not have Terry. Mm-hmm. We would not be getting Bo Allen next year.
Yep.
And, Joey Gatewood would not be considering us if it were not for him.
Exactly.
The relationship that the quarterback has with the offensive coordinator is critical.
Yeah,
and that's why if you fire your offensive
those two function with the offense. Those two are the main principles of the offense.
And that's why I can't stand when people make the argument, we need to fire our offensive coordinator. Do you know how hard it is to break in a quarterback with a new offensive coordinator? Like you're seeing the problems with it at Georgia right now.
Exactly. If you look at Terry, when he comes back from injury next year, if we have a new offensive coordinator. I'm not saying we'll suck, but we won't do as good as we would with him.
Yeah, it's new schemes. You got to break it in.
Exactly.
Like you're seeing it with Georgia right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And Georgia fans have nobody to blame but themselves because all they did was they ran him out of town.
Pretty much. So let's go defense player of the game right now. Shifting gears. So let me just look at some of these stats real quick. So. Points per game, they score 15 points per game. Now, I don't know much about Vandy, their quarterback situation. Is he a passing quarterback or is he?
I don't even know which
quarterback.
Let me look and see which quarterback they're starting
Neal.
this week. Riley Neal is their starter.
I think he's more of a passing quarterback because he has 1,100 yards. So I'm going to go.
They have one guy that can pass, and there's one guy that's a dual threat. I don't know who they're starting this week. Vanderbilt quarterback.
regardless, I'm going to go with somebody in the secondary. I'm going to go. I think Jamari Brown has another big game. I think he's going to. I always like to say the secondary. I'm a huge fan of the secondary this year.
I am too.
And I like what they bring to the table. They're young. They're hungry. They've exceeded expectations, as I've said, for the gajillionth time. Jamari Brown, he had a huge game against Florida. Played a little hard in the Tennessee game as well. So I'm expecting him to. I think this will be a good matchup for him in this game. You know, especially going up against Lipscomb too, who has 381 yards and 2 touchdowns, only 33 receptions too. So that's quite impressive. Like out of those, I mean, he has 2 touchdowns out of those. The yardage could be a little bit more, I think, but zero respect. But I'm gonna give Jamari Brown the defensive edge in this one. Mm-hmm. What about you, Wyatt?
I would say, let's see, defense. I agree. I'm gonna go Jamari Brown, just because. I'm going to go Jamari Brown. I think he has to bounce back after last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I feel like Pascal's going to have a good game too.
Pascal's due for another good game.
You can say that about a lot of guys on our team and on our defense, really.
The Kentucky Wildcats in general are due for a good game.
Yeah, we had a good game against Missouri. You know, last week we had a good half, but then couldn't close it out.
Yeah.
I think that, I agree that we're just due for a good game.
Yeah, I think it's coming. I feel it too.
Mm-hmm. I hope that it does happen this week, and I hope that just for the rest of the season it goes well.
Because this is a game where we need to boost our self-esteem. Because we had the Missouri game, but then we knew Tennessee was coming in, and we knew Tennessee would be a challenge, somewhat of a challenge. Excuse me. And we got our hopes down. So now we're going on the road after a loss. You know what happens after that? We usually lose. But I feel different about this. I feel like we can win this game. I feel like we're more prepared than Vanderbilt is, and we know what it's like to.
Well, Kentucky's got something to play for.
That's true.
Vanderbilt, they're 2-7.
Yeah,
they can't go to a bowl.
Vanderbilt won't try as hard, I don't think. No, their coach will try.
Their coach
best,
will, but
their players
the follow with them.
Their players know it's over. So,
let's see who they got left. Vanderbilt has Kentucky, East Tennessee, and then at Tennessee to finish the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won that game.
What, Tennessee?
Yeah. You said at Tennessee?
It's at Tennessee.
That's rough. That's the only rough part about it.
Well, you say that, but Vanderbilt's won 3 in a row in that series, and they won like 5 of the last 6.
It's true. It's true.
Crazy thing to think about in that series. Tennessee won 33 out of 35, dating back until about 2013, and then but Vanderbilt's won 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. If Vanderbilt wins again this year, that will mean that Tennessee's senior class will have gone all 4 years and never beat Vanderbilt.
That's sad.
That's insane to think about.
That's really sad.
Considering how dominant Tennessee was over Vanderbilt over the years.
Yeah.
Like, kind of on a side note, Tennessee had a span of about, I think it was like 15 years, where they never lost to South Carolina, Kentucky, or Vanderbilt.
Wow.
They beat all 3 of them like 15 years in a row or something like that. It was crazy.
That's awesome. Not really awesome. Just
crazy to think about.
Interesting. Little mind blowing.
Well, I mean, Alabama, hasn't lost to Tennessee. I don't think they've lost to Tennessee, Mississippi State, or Arkansas since like 2006.
Yeah.
But that's kind of beside the point.
Poor Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas is bad. Like, I mean, look, Big Blue Nation, we sit here and bitch and complain about how this season hasn't gone well for us.
We could be Arkansas.
It could be worse. We could be Arkansas.
We could be Vandy.
I'd rather be Vanderbilt than Arkansas.
That's true. What's Arkansas good at? Like rifle team or something?
Their baseball team's nasty.
Their baseball team. See, Vandy,
like Brock Holt.
Yeah,
he played for them.
He played for Arkansas.
Yep. Arkansas baseball's good.
He's what, Red Sox now, right? That's what I thought.
Yep. Him and is it Andrew Benintendi? They kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. Dansby Swanson played for Vanderbilt. He's in the Braves now, so he's
Vanderbilt
dirty.
Vanderbilt just won the Natty. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So do we want to, look at some of the other big matchups this week?
Let's do that before we get into that. Let's give our score predictions for this game. I am gonna take the under on the 42, just because. Well, I don't know. That's gonna be tough. I'll take the under. I don't think Vandy's gonna score a lot. I think Kentucky scores 34. I think Vandy scores 7. So that's like right under. So it'll be 41.
I'm going to take the over. I think Kentucky wins. 2 years ago in 2017 when I was a freshman, we lost a game here to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
We lost 37-34 when they had I think it was Van Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he snagged on Lonnie Johnson and then went in with like 5 seconds left in the game.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That must
Very
have
tough
been,
loss.
That must have been hard.
Very tough loss. But it was on the other side of the field when it happened. We had a very similar thing happen last week where we just came up short on the goal line.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next week after we played Ole Miss, we went down to Nashville to play Vanderbilt and we won by 23.
Yeah.
I could see a similar situation happening here, where I think, not only is this 2019 team better than the 2017 team,
Yeah.
I think Kentucky's going to win this one. I'm going to say 33-13.
33-13.
I could see this one being a blowout.
So you have about 20. I have about 27.
Yeah. Would you say 34-7?
34-7. Yeah. Okay. So right under the 42 mark.
So 33-13. That's 46. It's plus 4.
I like it.
I don't think Vanderbilt is. I mean, I say this. I hope that they, don't score very much on us, but I don't think they will.
I don't think so either.
What's going to be big in this game, and I forgot to talk about this when we were talking about Tennessee, was our pass rush didn't do anything last week against Tennessee.
No.
Which
we really didn't have to, honestly.
In the second half, we needed.
In the second half, we needed to, but like with their run game, we really didn't need it.
They ran it a lot more in the first half, and we were just shutting them down.
Yeah, exactly.
But like in the second half,
when
we needed them to be good, they weren't getting it done.
We needed sacks and tackles for loss, but we didn't get it.
No, I think that if they have a good game, we'll be fine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, let's see what other big games are happening this week. So I'll read them off if you want to. Do we want to do FBS or do you want to do just SEC or what?
Surprise me. We'll just bounce these off. We'll just give quick predictions.
Let's look at it. We'll do SEC real quick, and if we look at it, we also got some old school rivalry games. So we were talking about that earlier.
We were, yeah, definitely.
Alabama at Mississippi State. It's a noon game on ESPN. Alabama's going to win by a lot. Somebody else dropped a comment. What does that say? Is that a dog?
Oh, it's just a wave.
Oh.
It's just a wave.
Florida at Missouri. Florida's number 11. Missouri's not great, but they haven't lost a game at home.
Where's it at?
It's at Missouri.
It's at Missouri?
Yeah. Missouri has been nasty at home.
That's tough. That's honestly tough. Because Florida's a really good road team. I mean, they've won here. They won South Carolina. Mm-hmm. They won Auburn. That was at home.
No, that was at home. That was in.
Still beating Auburn too, though. I'm gonna take Florida this one, just to be safe.
Florida is what we were last year, where they just every bounce that they could get, they get, and it's horrible. But I'm gonna have to.
The Florida way. Florida way.
Yeah, just getting a bounce whenever you need it. What does that say?
Joe Mama ×2 Braden Suit. I like it a lot. Joe Mama.
I'm gonna go with Florida.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry.
All right, number 4 Georgia at Auburn. Deep South oldest rivalry.
Georgia at Auburn. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna like that. What's Auburn ranked?
Auburn's number 12.
12 versus number 3.
12 versus number 4.
4. Wow.
I think Auburn's lost to Florida and LSU this year. They're sitting at 2 losses, which aren't bad losses. They're both road games. So.
Well, Georgia's gonna be sitting at a second loss. I'm having Auburn win this one.
I think Auburn's gonna win too.
You said it's at Auburn, right?
Yep.
That's gonna be really fun to watch. I can't wait for that.
One quick thing, Kirby.
I didn't know they were playing. That like gets me pumped up. I really like Auburn a lot. So,
well, I really like Auburn's quarterback, and I hope he comes
Bo
here.
Nix.
No,
or Joe Gatewood. Yeah, definitely.
But I think, one thing about Kirby Smart is he's been Georgia's head coach since 2016. Mm-hmm. He has yet to win an SEC West road game. In the 4 years that he's been their coach, they have gotten blown out in every SEC West road game they've played.
Knock on wood. So, I just think I've said this since Bo Nix played Oregon. Like, that dude is something special. And
he is. He's got a long way to go.
He does. I think he'll fill his father's footsteps really well, too. I mean, and that's saying something because his father at Auburn, spectacular. I'm expecting nothing but good things from him in the future. I think Auburn gets it done, too.
This is Kentucky at Vanderbilt. We already said that one.
Yep.
LSU at Ole Miss. I'm going to pick LSU to win the game, but I think Ole Miss keeps it close for a while.
Think so?
Because that is technically a rivalry game. And Ole Miss typically plays well against LSU. And Ole Miss is also...
Well, live video ended. However, we will just keep on going with the audio for right now. I think it exceeded I think it only goes like an hour or something. So, that's okay.
You might want to charge your phone now.
That's true. What's it at? We got 42. All right, we'll go live for the last part of it. We'll just do that again. All right, so we're connecting back. So, sorry about that. We lost you on the live right now. We got the audio still going. So, if you're tuning in, we were just talking about it was LSU Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take LSU on this one just because of the sheer fact that Joe Burrow on that offense is insane.
I like I said, I'm going to pick LSU to win too, but I think Ole Miss keeps it close for a while.
Definitely,
because Ole Miss is battling for their bowl life right now.
Oh yeah,
sitting at 4-6. Night game on the road, Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
I like it.
But I'm still going to go LSU, and then South Carolina at Texas A&M. Texas A&M should win that one.
I think so too.
I think. Texas A&M is a really hard place to go down and win, especially at night.
Yeah.
I don't believe, South Carolina has yet to beat Texas A&M in a game, and I don't think that changes. I'm not going to would.
I don't think so either, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, South Carolina can pull up. I mean, they beat Georgia at Georgia, and that's a pretty hard place to play too. So I might take. I'll just take Texas A&M just to be safe.
All right. So that's the SEC. And then I'll see if I can find any other decent games that are on this week.
The big game that's previewing right now is number 10 Oklahoma versus number 13 Baylor. That's a big game. At Baylor.
Interesting.
Baylor's undefeated.
Baylor is undefeated. Oklahoma has one loss.
And they almost came back from that loss too.
Mm-hmm.
That one's gonna be tough. I'm
gonna take Oklahoma in this one. I think. I'd like to be wrong because I don't like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take them in this one.
Oh yeah. The way Baylor's played this year, I don't think they go undefeated this season. I think they lose to Oklahoma in this one too.
And I don't think they've played Texas yet either, have they?
Baylor? No, I think that's rivalry week though. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. Texas is no joke.
Texas is 6-3, but they're good though.
Oklahoma needs this win too. If they want to advance, to try to get into the top 4, they're going to have to get this win.
They're going to need some help, and they cannot lose any more games.
Yeah, they have to win out in order to even make or crack number 5 possibly. So they're not even guaranteed a chance in the playoffs. But
so other big games: Michigan State at number 15, Michigan. Michigan State's won the last 2 or 3 meetings at Michigan. That's always a rivalry game. Goes back. It's actually gone back and forth in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State's dominated it when historically, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s, Michigan won it just all the time because Michigan was just a powerhouse. Harbaugh has struggled against Michigan State, so that's just one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
And then let's see, anybody else playing this week?
We got a huge matchup right here, Wyatt. You want to hear this?
What you got?
Ohio State versus Rutgers.
Man, the Bucks could
huge matchup.
The Bucks could pull together an intramural team and beat Rutgers. They're terrible.
I think you just start your backups at this point. OSU they're probably going to win it all. Justin Fields is dirty. The defense is insane. Mm-hmm. They're just all around. They have depth. Like, I'll take record. No, I'm kidding. Ohio State wins it. They probably win the national championship.
Texas plays at Iowa State. That'll be a big game because Iowa State, they sneak up on teams every once in a while.
That's true.
And Texas is trying to make themselves relevant again, which I do hope they do.
Oh, yeah.
College football is better when Texas is good.
That's true.
In my humble opinion.
What? Matthew McConaughey is a professor there for a reason. He wants the football team to pass. Mm-hmm.
What does he teach? Do you know?
Communications.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
That is pretty cool.
How awesome would that be if you got like your schedule and it said McConaughey, Matthew?
McConaughey, Matthew.
Yeah.
I wonder what his syllabus looks like. I wonder if it's just like a notebook piece of paper.
It's probably like a Hyundai commercial.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Lincoln. It's like, here's a discount for a Lincoln. You get $3 off or something.
An MKZ.
He'll pay for their books, but their book is just like The Hungry Caterpillar or something.
The Giving Tree.
Now y'all tell me what's this do? And why does it do that? I don't know, just like, it's communications, it's just like, look at me in the eye.
The textbook is like chicka chicka boom boom or something like that.
Christ almighty. I was going to ask before we oh my god, chicka chicka boom boom. What the hell? Anyway, I was going to ask, what bowl game was Minnesota and Iowa again?
That is the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy.
They play for that this Saturday.
Yeah, that might be a trap game for Minnesota. Minnesota's number 8, and Iowa's a tough place to play.
Minnesota has yet to lose, if I'm not wrong, correct?
Oh, you're right. And that's really all the big games there are this week.
I think so too.
Well, you do have some big games, like Georgia and Auburn, and
yeah.
So
it's gonna be a good week for SEC football and just football in general. So.
I think college basketball. It's not really going to start picking up with big matchups until about mid December.
Yeah, exactly. We have Ohio State. We play Ohio State in like early December or something. Yeah. So for the big matchups. But right now it's the BBN Showcase. Mm-hmm. At this point, let's just focus on winning the games instead of talking about them. So at this point, but you want to give any last thoughts? Before we end it, I'll let you end it, so I'll give my last thoughts.
So, this has not been the week that we wanted.
No, it has not.
For football, this isn't really the season that we wanted, but we can still make a bowl game.
It's true.
We went out. We're looking at, like the Belk Bowl or the Music City Bowl.
I've seen a lot of Belk and Music City Bowls against Miami. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun.
That would be a big game because Jaron Williams, do you remember that story?
Yeah.
Miami's a good team too. Mm-hmm. Miami's getting a lot better.
Well, he was at Kentucky and he transferred to Miami, right? Is that what it was?
He committed to Kentucky, decommitted, committed to Kentucky again, had an official visit at Miami, then decommitted to Kentucky and went to Miami. Yeah, so he committed and decommitted from us twice.
That's brutal. So
and then we've also been in some pretty heated recruiting battles with some of these kids from SoFlo. For against Miami.
Yeah, that'd be a really fun match. I also saw in the Music City Bowl we'd be playing Louisville.
I don't believe that'll happen.
So it will. If that does happen, we'll be playing Louisville twice this season.
I don't want to. In my opinion, I don't want to play them.
I
don't want to play them twice.
Yeah.
Not because I'm not. It's not because I'm scared of them. It's just one of these things where I don't want to play them more than once. You play them once a year and that's it.
Pretty much.
It's not like basketball where you could face them again in the tournament. That's entertaining.
That is. Yeah.
But football's football.
Yeah.
So. You want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Just shout out to everybody watching. I want to give a little something. I want to give a little speech just because.
Yep.
We enjoy doing this podcast a lot, and we appreciate all you guys watching over there. We appreciate you guys listening on the podcast for when we upload this later. Recently in my class today, shout out to Carl Nathy, the guy who says first down and touchdown Kentucky.
20-yard line to gain.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway, he came in our class and he said, let me pull up the quote real quick. I wrote it down. He was just awesome to talk. He said the word ass in his voice. It was
For
my
those of you
favorite
that don't
thing
know
in
who
the
that
world.
is, he's the the PA, play-by-play announcer at Kentucky home football games.
Yeah, he's awesome. He has the perfect voice and everything.
Oh yeah,
it was captivating to say the least. So let me pull this quote up. But he was just all he said today was just like it made me really thankful for the podcast hosting with you and Jack as well.
Yep.
By the way, Jack isn't here today. He's not feeling well. We forgot to mention that in the beginning of the podcast, so we didn't kick him off or anything. He's just not feeling well right now. So we hope you get better, Jack, and we'll see you here next week. But yes, he's Carl Nathy. He said no matter what you're doing, if your audience is one or more, whatever you're doing is important. So we average, I don't know how many viewers, but we get more than one. So we just want to thank you guys for making this dream come true. It's something we love doing, and we just love the company of you guys. And it's just always really fun. So shout out to Carl Nathan and you guys. So,
Yep.
Wyatt, what you got?
Well, kind of what you said. You got to start somewhere.
It's true.
And, as long as you kind of have a platform for what you enjoy, and if you're passionate about it, people will pay attention.
That's right.
Right. So I've asked people this before. Like, I have been, I've been a Kentucky football fan for most of my life. There was a couple years like in high school where I didn't watch a whole lot.
Yeah.
But that's just mostly because I didn't have time.
Yeah.
Now that I'm here, ever since my freshman year, it's been kind of just a thing that I pay attention to like all the time, especially during the season. I think that when you're passionate about something, people notice, and it sort of gets them interested in it. And I know for our friend group, I feel like I've had kind of a role in everyone kind of paying more attention to it.
Definitely. You've definitely influenced a lot of us to pay attention. I appreciate that.
I feel like there's a part of me that thinks like had I not been as passionate as I am, we probably wouldn't be having these weekly conversations about it.
That's true.
So,
we'd most likely just be talking.
Not to sound like arrogant or anything.
No, I mean it's true. It's true.
But no, I think as long as you're passionate about something and you kind of make it a part of who you are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Then people will notice and they'll find it interesting because you watch TV and you can tell like people are doing things that they're not passionate about.
Oh yeah.
If somebody doesn't care about something, like if you're like for those of you guys watching, have you ever been sitting in class and somebody's giving a speech and you can tell they don't care about what they're talking about? It's
it's like that Family Guy episode, the Boston Book Report. It's like, the novel I chose to address is Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Queer name, right? The book was not that bad.
That was pretty good. Pretty good accent too.
I've been practicing. Charles Dickens. I agree with everything you're saying, but I had to mention that.
Oh, it's true. It's like, if you don't care about what you're doing, then, everyone knows.
That's true. Well, like, that goes, like, from last year. I was elementary ed last year, as a major. I switched it to broadcast journalism because I wasn't passionate. And
same reason I switched my major, too.
That's exactly, So, like, I noticed as a teacher, if you're having, like, any slightest bit of doubt about being a teacher, don't do it. Like, that's the piece of advice I'll give, is if you're, like, the slightest bit concerned about your career or whatever, and you want to take a different path, do it, because that's probably the path you want to take. If you are having doubts about the career you're in now, change it. So, that's all I have to say right there. What about you, Wyatt?
I think that's about all I got. High school playoffs are tonight.
Yep. McLean County's playing tonight.
I think X is still in it too. They have Manual. Manual's surprisingly been good this year.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you guys ever play Owensboro Catholic?
Not that I know of. At least they didn't when I was there.
Yeah. I was about to say, I hope you beat them. They're in our conference. So.
What, you don't like them?
Well, don't have anything against them. They just always kick our ass like 70-3. So this year we held our own against them. So Wyatt, would you like to do the closing?
Yeah, sure.
You did the opening.
Well,
add your own little twist.
All right. As I said before, I'm Wyatt Oxley, your host with the most. His Majesty himself, His Royal Highness King Roof.
That's good. I like that.
And I don't know why I added the bark there.
Right. It's just your trademark.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
A little Migos, but
yeah.
No. Let's go out tomorrow. Let's get this win. You and I are going to the game.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. It's gonna be really fun. We might do a vlog. Who knows?
Who knows? We might just surprise you guys.
That's right.
But, let's go out. Let's get this dub tomorrow. Get the season back on track. Go to a bowl game. And then basketball. Got to get a win. And we'll start tearing up ass. So.
I like that. Tear up ass.
I used to tell you that every week before football games.
Let's do it.
But
let's tear up ass.
Yeah, let's tear up ass.
Let's do it.
And, so I'll see you guys later.
All right.
This has been the Zero Disrespect podcast. See you guys later. Stay tuned next week. Oh, Katie joined. I don't know how to end it. Oh, here it is. Here's the button. There's the end. I'll do it.
We're idiots.
Lovely way to end it. We're idiots.